Hi!
Hi!
I am Coco Ferocious.
And I am Isis Mirage.
And we are here to review RuPaul's Drag Race Season 5, Episode 12, plus Untucked, and a little bit of number 13 too.
Yeah.
So if y'all watched the recap episode last week, then maybe y'all saw a couple of familiar faces up on your screen, right? We were so excited to be asked to be a part of this episode, and it's so good, first of all, of World of Wonder and of Drag Race to, you know, give back to the fans, and they were featuring not only recappers but fan art. That was fabulous too. So it's nice for them to show love to everyone that, you know, puts work into their work, and you know what I'm saying?
Yes, and for all the people out there that were like, oh logo, oh y'all need to get Coco and Isis, oh look, it paid off, yes.
This is so like, it was so surreal. It's so surreal to see RuPaul sitting there talking about Shaz.
Like we've been watching the show since season 1, so for it to be like now, like we're in season 5 and we've been featured on it, like back in that time, like I wasn't allowed to fully express myself, let alone be on the fucking TV in full drag and shit. Like, that's crazy.
It's so crazy, and it's so good that we're always going to be a part of RuPaul's Drag Race. Anytime everyone goes back, the DVD, bitch, we gonna be on there.
Yes, that's history right
it's
there.
Us talking about Alyssa Edwards' faux dog rat thing.
All the things, of all the things, like, you know, it's amazing we were on there anyway, but to be on there talking about Alyssa Edwards, y'all know that's it.
Shout out to all the other recappers that were on there, because I think as a quartet, you know, quintet, with us being 2, we did a really good job, and it was a really cute part, and everyone made it work. So shout out to all of y'all, because we turned it, honey.
Yes, you know, I was worried because people kept asking like, oh, y'all gonna be on the show? What are y'all gonna be doing? Y'all gonna be coming out? And I'm like, cause I didn't know what we allowed to say, what we not allowed to say, and I'm
what they were gonna use. So.
That's why I kept saying like we gonna be featured on the show. Like I didn't want to make it out like we were gonna walk into the workroom like, like.
Yeah.
You know, I think we have a few years to go, but you know, keep annoying logo because things are going right so far.
Yes, ma'am. Also, we want to say thank you to every single person who voted over the months of March and April for us to win this Untucked travel competition. The competition is now over, and it is the 2nd of May. And we still haven't heard anything, but we're praying and we're crying every night until we find out. Like, cause at this point I'm like, I could tell me I'm going, tell me I'm not going, just tell me something.
I know, I'm thinking like maybe we haven't won, that's why I'm
strung along like with a line, like I'm like,
ooh, let her know.
Right, so yes. As soon as we know, we'll let y'all know.
I'm sure by the time this is uploaded we'll know, at least.
Hope so.
So yes, we're gonna get on with the review. You know, we thought we'd give it a little bit of a break. Sorry if this comes late, you know, but we had a busy week. And, you know, we need to get our life after last Monday. So, you know.
Like, everybody has been speaking on it as they want to speak on it, but whatever. Like, at this point, I feel like we done said so much on the situation. We're gonna get into it again.
So hard in the last video. I get it. I get your fans and everything, but I just hate when I see a bitch in the comments that I know dumping, oh, Isis Coco, oh, Isis Coco, and then last week they all shady in the comments. I see you. Y'all know who you is. Y'all know. I caught that.
Yeah, well, I caught it too, because the minute you disagree with somebody, all of a sudden they hate you, they hate what you do, you're Walmart drag, you know nothing ass motherfucker. The minute you disagree, but that's okay.
It's alright. I don't know how you gonna do me like that. I thought we was girlfriends, you know, but it is what it is.
Now let's get moving.
Now, when it comes to the note, I want to talk much about the note, but I'll say this much about the note. thinking about last season with the whole Kenya Michaels thing, I don't trust it, so I don't want to speak on it.
Right.
Because I'm like, they wrote it, maybe they took one that she did write to James, whatever the tea is, because we never going to find out about what the fuck went on with Kenya Michaels thanks to Charo cock blocking the whole reunion.
Yeah.
So, I'm just saying, I'm going to get my publicist to comment on that for y'all later, because
she doesn't want to go there. So, the final challenge was that they had to record RuPaul's music video for The Beginning.
Yeah.
Choreographed by Candice Kane and directed by Matthew Anderson, of course. I live for any time Candice Kane is anywhere. That's my goddess.
Mother.
She is a true, I mean, I have no words for her beauty and her cunt.
And her snatch.
Yeah. Not only that, but they also had to start in a courtroom drama, darling, where they had to play all 3 parts. Okay, so it was time for them to shoot the part of the music video in the car.
So I don't really know why Alaska chose to wear a fro that short. I feel like, you know, go for the fro, that's cool, but, you know, make it, like, long or whatever so that it works with the hairography.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of like a little thing, you know? I didn't feel like you could get those, like, dresses flowing like that.
Yeah. So I feel like this particular part was Roxy's strong point. You know, she really showed she had what it takes to film a music video, be sexy, you know, the hair flowing, the dancing, the spinning. She was turning it, the fuck out. And these bitches had to do the lip sync at, like, super chickmunk speed, so she had it together, bitch. Now, Miss Alaska was, I think, the weakest of the group because she's the least used to choreography. And, you know, she didn't have the right hair, and the chiffon kept flying, and, you know, spoiling a piece of snow. And I just couldn't say chiffon without saying that. But, yeah, you know, she turned it out in the end. In the final product, she looked good. But, you know, she was kind of shaky in that part. And Jinx, you know, I think did pretty well as well. You know, she was turning it out in the car, like, letting her head hit the horn and stay there. She fell asleep, you know.
I feel the only thing with Alaska is because it was obvious that she was gonna have trouble with the dance, and that's what it's been like the whole season. So you gotta just fake it till you make it, girl. I know you know how to do that. But we'll get more into like how the girls did at the end, because a lot of them were like good at one thing if you kind of think about it, or at least one stood out. But yeah, we'll get into that.
So while some of the girls were having lunch with Ru, others were speaking to mega attorney Gloria Allred about their final presentation on the runway and how they were going to sell themselves. So they had to get themselves together with her, honey, because she was getting them right on together.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you did that, Gloria, and everything, but I don't feel like there's too much we can speak on about the whole conversation. So we're going to kind of skip that a little bit. You know, no tea. So first up to talk with Mother was Jake's Monsoon. You know, I thought it was really interesting the way that her drag kind of comes full circle with her real life and not being like that in touch with her childhood.
And that's why she relates to, I don't know, that old school kind of vibe, and she had to grow up fast, so she's, I don't know, it's kind of like throwback drag, I don't know. It's
true. It's kind of like, I mean, it's a calm place to get your character from. It's all about turning a negative into a positive. What might not have been the best time in Jinx's life is taking that female figure and using it in a way that's going to make people laugh and, you know, entertain people, and that's really what it's all about. So next up to speak to Mother was Alaska. You know, she opened up about having a fear of death and everything, which, by the way, very ironic when you're going out with Sharon Needles. But on the real though, like, you know, she was talking about she afraid of dying. I don't feel like I even need to sit here and tell her she need to live for today. I'm sure you know that, boo.
I'ma just tell her that she needs to rule with them lace front wigs. I'm here for that political party.
I felt like the whole thing about dying kind of came out of nowhere. It was just all of a sudden like, oh, I'm afraid of dying. And I was like, oh God, aren't we all kind of though? You know, I was expecting her to say something about the competition or whatever, but you know, that's her thing, and she had that little moment with Ru and she got it out at least.
So, you know, I'm glad she got to connect with Mother and just, you know, on a one-to-one basis, because that's so important in a competition like this. It makes things feel real and, like...
And show the bitch that you're human and you have the same fears as everybody else watching you. Because you can live your life like you're a fucking superstar on stage and, you know, getting tips and photographs, runways, all of that. But at the end of the day, we're all going to, you know, kick the bucket sooner or later. So,
and that's what a lovely message. And yay!
And that's the scary thought. But for right now, you alive and you might win $100,000. So let's, you know, forget about all that drama and figure out how we're gonna spend that money.
So finally it was Roxy's time to speak to Mother Ru, and she was, you know, speaking on representing for the big girls, and, you know, Big Girl made top 3 and she wanted to represent all of us, and I live for her, you know, speaking on it and saying she's representing and preaching for people to love themselves, because it's the most important lesson you can learn in life.
Exactly, you gotta do that before you can love others.
Yes,
am I right?
ma'am.
Y'all know, y'all already know. Y'all watch the show, y'all know. Shit. Now, I'd love to sit here and speak more on it. I feel like Roxy got a very itty bitty little moment though. But yeah, so with that being said, we gonna move on.
Yes, ma'am.
Before we get into the courtroom, I wanna get into fucking Judge Rudy for a minute and sidetrack for a second.
For real, that's been Ru's dream for, I'm sure, at least 5 seasons and probably longer than that, because she loves Judge Judy.
I'm just saying, why hasn't anyone done Judge Judy for the Snatch Game yet? Because somebody done had the ability, for sure. That's crazy to me, because you're gonna win immediately. I'm starting to feel like, why nobody done Judge Judy, bitch?
Right.
Shit, because we should know this about Ru by now. But anyway, on to the actual courtroom.
So each queen had to go up playing each part or whatever, and they, you know, rotated or whatever. I've got to give a shout out to Alaska's defense attorney, bitch with that voice from motherfucking Monsters Inc. Miss Roz, bitch. Down the hair, the glasses. I'm like, bitch, you are giving me Roz right now, and
her character was like fully realized. She has like a story, who she was, how many fucking cigarettes she smokes, bitch. Everything was just done.
She had that. Well, that's what it is. You just gotta sell it, honey, and it helps to create a whole story for her.
I think that Roxy came off a little bit nervous in the whole acting thing. Obviously, she gonna be nervous anyway because she knows that Jinx and Alaska probably have it down. The same way that Alaska was nervous about the dancing.
Jinx Monsoon was obviously in her element and she was turning it out, Miss Thing.
Jinx definitely slayed it in a witness. In that moment, you know, that's the whole thing. I felt like Jinx and Alaska really had their each individual character down, and for the most part Roxy just seemed like she was unsure herself.
And just kind of went with it.
And didn't really have like a fully realized idea of who she wanted to be. I guess that's not really Roxy Andrews' thing, but again, I mean, you gotta adapt with the competition and be able to do that. And it is what it is. But I felt like there was this one moment where Roxy kind of was like trying to be more of a character, but didn't really know where exactly to take it.
Jinx, as the Southern prosecution lady, was giving me the Looney Tunes rooster, foghorn, leghorn down. I say, okay?
Okay.
Down. Can I just say, with Roxy's spit take, I like how they only show her spit take, they didn't show not any of the others, because I'm sure they look a damn fool too.
Matthew Anthony, you tried it with all that spit shit. Now, that's your job, so I ain't mad at you for it. But I will say, on the finished product, did they not use, like, one of the longer ones? So I'm just saying, like, what you really want, though, mister? But I get it, he's there to direct the whole thing, everything is cool. Ain't no tea, Matthew is saying no tea. You know, I'm just saying. And you know, you could read it all over Roxy's face, like the spirit of the mean mug was just right here. And she was over it.
And had it officially, bitch.
Thank you.
Because I think she just felt like, look, like you have to understand Roxy's like a pageant bitch, like Continental, and like things like that, they're not places where any of this is gonna happen. I think she was just like really frustrated with the fact that she knew the other two were obviously gonna be so much better than her, and I think she was kind of over it all being so funny all the time and like acting, you know, like, because in pageants there would be parts of it like say talents or whatever, opening numbers or whatever, but for the most part it's like just serious, like doing your thing or whatever, walking in your gown or in your swimsuit or whatever. And I think she wanted just the chance to shine and knew she was at a disadvantage with the acting part, so she just got really frustrated with herself.
The choreography and all that, she had that down. But when it came down to being like a character and being like 3 different characters, she stumbled.
Yeah, so once the girls got back to the workroom, it all kind of like exploded because Roxy was like over. I think the main thing what I was trying to pinpoint before is that she's so used to doing things as herself and Roxy Andrews, and this is how Roxy Andrews looks, and this is kind of like acting and being someone else. And I think she was kind of over just not being Roxy. This is Roxy's drag, this is Roxy's gown and Roxy's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that was her lashing out at them as the comedy girls or whatever. And you know, it was just, I don't think it's personal. I don't think it's personal towards Jinx or to Alaska. Really, it's just her kind of lashing out and like
feeling being mad at herself.
Yeah, feeling insecure with her performance and trying to bring other people down to lift herself up. Whether it be conscious or subconscious, that's what she's doing. I
feel like in her mind, in that moment anyway, she's justified and she feels like, you know, I see myself killing it every week, you know, and I know I can do this. I'm a sickening queen, a sickening performer, you know. 2 bitches is better than me in an acting challenge, and now it could like all be out of my hands, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all about the fact that she was insecure about her ability in that last challenge.
Yeah.
If someone's gonna be better than you, that's out of your hands.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta do you, and if that's not good enough, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I feel like in terms of coming for everybody's character, I find it hard to believe that Roxy really felt that way, even as a pageant girl and not really being into the acting whatever. I feel like she knew she was wrong when she told him some shit about you're not an 80-year-old whatever, you Jinx Monsoon, like booski boo, like you know, drag, pageant, whatever, like you've been at clubs with people who are more of a character or more this, more that, surely, and you done seen RuPaul's Drag Race, you know bitches like Tammy Brown, like, come on, like, don't front, like, not even because you're a pageant girl, you finna tell me that you don't understand why they want you to be funny in that moment, or why you need to have, like, a character. You need to have a character so that you have a fully realized idea of how you're gonna be and what you're gonna represent, your effect, you know?
You know, I feel like editing whatever, but I feel like at the end she was just trying to say like, I'm just frustrated, like I'm sorry if I'm just being like crazy right now, but I'm just feeling crazy right now with this damn competition, all of this shit that keeps happening, and I keep trying my best and keep being outshined in like challenges like this by y'all.
You know, you gotta give it to these girls. They go through so much and all that time that it takes to paint and paint and paint all the time for all these challenges.
And then you go there and it goes wrong. You must feel like, oh my god, let me
die. And like you trying to win like this crown or this money. It's like high risk. You gotta like understand that. And the same way that you know, maybe you step in some shit on the way to work or whatever, you get to work, you're in a bad fucking mood, you feel me? You don't want to talk to people, and you know it takes till later for you to be able to say, look, like, my bad, like, this is what it is, and you gotta, like, realize why you're acting the way you is.
She was just lashing out, man.
And I'm sure she was aware of that at least later. You know what I mean? She knows that all the shit she was saying was, like, unnecessary. I feel a little bit like Roxy kind of, even though she was able to calm down, you know, it was like the next day or whatever, she was able to calm down, but I feel like she maybe in her mind tried to justify a little bit why she was acting the way she was, in saying certain things like, you know, like, not all drag has to be funny and stuff.
I also feel like it comes from a place where she's trying to say, look, give my drag it's 10s. I'm serving you looks consistently flawless. Like, so she's just trying to say, like, give me my 10s for doing what I do, because all I'm seeing is that we're doing acting and all of this shit that's not what I do and my strong suit. So where are my 10s for doing what I can do, you know?
When it started to get a little more heated between Roxy and Jinx,
yeah, and Caddy,
it was totally unnecessary on Roxy's part. I feel in her mind she was already getting so frustrated that she was kind of like...
No, she says she was trying to spook her.
Of course.
Straight up pageant.
That's what it is. She was stressed out about the day before. She felt like, you know, her own drag wasn't being given its 10. So she was like, let me do what a pageant bitch would do and let me, like, you know, throw my competition.
How many times in every single kind of competition do you have people trying to throw off someone else? Like, it's something that happens all the time. So it wasn't shocking to me. That doesn't mean it was right, but that doesn't mean that also calling Roxy out for being a nasty bully was right, because it's neither.
Yeah, I don't feel like, listen, I'm not even going to get into the whole bullying thing.
No.
We did it last week and no one wants to know. My thing with it is, it's hard as reviewers to talk about the whole situation and keep it fair, because at the same time, I don't want to perpetuate the notion that Roxy Andrews is a nasty bitch and that people should be sending her hate mail and stuff like that. I don't feel like that's going to help anybody. I feel like if anything, the only thing we can do is not justify it at all, but, you know, clock the fact that it was catty and it was unnecessary and she should have just stuck to her own shit and been, you know,
on point
with her shit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we got to bring it around and be like, look, let them breathe. They've obviously gone through what they've gone through. That moment was not a cute moment. But where are they at now? Is in a relationship or friendship? Yeah. You know, they going to fucking Disneyland together or whatever the fuck they doing.
Well, if y'all watch the Elimination Lunch, the final one, Roxy and Jinx were interacting and there really is no issue.
Like, it is what it is.
For all of this consistent hate to be perpetuated to the point where Jinx herself had to put a message and tell people to stop. And
that's
yet people are still doing it, even though, like, I don't know what they think they're doing for Jinx, because it's coming from a place, most people, that it's to defend Jinx. What are you doing for Jinx if Jinx don't want you to do it? You ain't doing nothing for her. You ain't in this secret, no, I'm going to do it for her because she has to say this. No, she just really genuinely feels that way. You can see when she's speaking about it that she's being genuine. So I don't get it. Y'all are too much. Go off in the comments if y'all want, but I ain't got time for a henny.
Yeah, and look, like we said, it ain't right, you know, it don't make it okay.
No.
She was trying to throw off a competition. I don't feel like she got so cutthroat that she was sat there calling her an ugly ass bitch, I'ma beat your ass, motherfucker. You know, I mean, we already heard it, like, and there has been situations where people have gone really nasty in Drag Race. I feel like even though she got real catty, I don't feel like she was out for blood.
No.
And I feel like, even though it wasn't cute, it wasn't like, you know, I wasn't sat like, oh my god, either, because, I mean, it happens. It happens in drag. I'm not surprised by it. I don't think it's cute, but I'm not shocked by it.
No, because it's just something that happens. It's something that's part of our community's history. That kind of reading and throwing off your competition and shade and all of these things, they're just deeply ingrained within our community.
And not only that, I feel like because she was like kind of taking it out on Jinx because of her own shit, I felt like everything she's saying to Jinx, it ain't even real ass shit, because she's only saying it because of her own insecurities. So I felt like everything that she's doing towards Jinx, it's not about Jinx, really.
No.
So I don't feel like, you know, oh, poor Jinx, you know, whatever. It wasn't cute, but I feel like it was really about Roxy. And everything that she was saying really just went back to Roxy and how she's feeling about her shit. So there was kind of like a barrier there for me that I didn't feel like it was as personal as a lot of people felt it was.
Yeah.
On some real ass shit, I want to say, I feel like there's something there with those two. I'm not saying that they're gonna start dating or nothing, but on some real shit, like there's times that we'll be doing stuff and I'll start getting a little bit catty and stuff too. It's like an old fucking married couple. Like, I know, yes, because you're this, you're that, and you're just gonna go do this with your damn self. It happens.
Yeah.
And it's you know what happens when you feel like your family or whatever and you're close enough to do that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
And listen, I don't feel I'm a nasty person or I got like a black heart and I, you know, hate people. Like, it's not like that. Sometimes you just get annoyed with yourself for things and you take out on other people that you love the most.
Yeah.
So, you know, you gotta think about it like that. That god that Alaska Thunderfuck was in that workroom to bring some light to the fucking situation because she always got you.
Yeah.
She got you.
Yeah. So, let's move on to the final runway, bitches. Mother Ru was a vision in red, a nice asymmetrical piece on the side, and the hair lovely and laid. Just mother.
Are you ready for her?
No.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Okay, so first up was Miss Roxy Andrews.
Yes. She was done.
Yeah, her makeup has... I mean, she put on every piece of paint that they had back there, bitch.
Yes,
she was like, tonight, I am letting them have it with this face.
Yes, she was glowing.
Yes, ice cream scoop, pageant style. I live for pageant hair, and it was, I mean, what do you expect?
And it was refreshing to see, because even though she a pageant girl, she done like the whole bodysuit thing a lot throughout the... It was nice to just give you that she was like, bitch, you know what? I'm gonna use what the pageant world gave me.
Yeah.
Serve you Andrews down. It was done. I mean, nothing out of place. You tell me one thing that was wrong with that look.
Flawless.
Next up was Jinx Monsoon. Now, I want to say, even though I feel like it was very adorable, it was Jinx Monsoon, it's not the fact that it was like the style of Jinx as a character. I just want to see Jinx heightened, and I know that nowadays she'd be able to give you that a lot better.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, but I just need that height. Can we get some height?
Yeah.
I don't even.
I wanted it. I wanted it like times 10. Like it's the last.
It's the finale.
Runway you gotta show out. I don't know if she too much showed out. Like I don't know if she was all the way showing out.
And I want her to. I wanted to, because y'all know already she came out with a fucking glamour cunt futuristic look. Shit, she done given me looks that I lived for. So for this to be her finale, I was a little bit let down.
Yeah.
But you know, again, like I said, I know she could give you it times 10 nowadays. I just wish she had that, but it is what it is, like I said. It's not necessarily that for the finale you need to be wearing like a huge gown or stoned or anything like that. I just feel like she could have given you that effect with it still being like a finale look.
Just something like even Sharon Needles' finale, like she had the octopus, like she was
doing her thing,
and it was Sharon Needles, but it was something special about. I don't know if it was like particularly her most special. That's what it is, right? It's supposed to be finale. It's supposed to be your best. You know, and with the other two, how they showed out, I felt like Jinx's was...
It was hard.
Yeah,
it was hard to not feel some type of way. Now, to be fair, you know, Jinx really has evolved.
Yeah.
And that's why I say that I wish she would be able to do that finale look now, because she's learned so much. But even throughout that competition, I mean, you look at her the first episode, you look at her now.
Yeah.
Like, her makeup looks so much nicer.
Yeah.
And so... I'm just frustrated she had that little time more, but you know.
That's what it is. I felt like she needed just a little bit more to marinate.
Yeah.
Finally was Miss Alaska. Now this bitch showed out.
She showed out. She
honey. Now listen, you remember season 3? Shangela looking like Civil War bride? Now this is the good version. Okay? This is the good demon cunt Civil War bride, like eleganza, honey. She had the contacts, she had the hair, like spooky, wispy. It was everything to me.
Like, I'm not even like a fashion bitch like that. Maybe I'm too drag and I'm seeing through some drag goggles or whatever, but to me, that was couture, like high fashion, like shit you finna see in Vogue, like with a story in the woods, giving you cunt evil bitch in white, what? Like, she did that. She really did. And I was surprised because you know, Alaska's done a lot of like the gowny sort of silhouette with the gloves or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, I didn't know which way she was going to take it. I knew
she was going to bring it, but bitch.
She did that.
Bitch.
It was so dark yet light, because it was like, you know, this bright white beautiful gown with this like nasty bitch makeup and the hair just...
Yes.
When it came time for the defend their life moment, I feel like everybody, you know, did good, but Alaska was the only one that really filled every mark that was asked for in that moment.
You know, Roxy spoke on what happened in the workroom and apologized to Jinx for that. You know, it could have been for her to try and get some sympathy from the judges, but, you know, she never really spoke specifically what it was about, and I think it was more like she said in the elimination lunch, which you should go watch now because they're there.
It was still up.
Yeah. That she just wanted to say sorry to her before anything else went any further and just squash that so they could go on with this moment without that tension or whatever, you know?
Jinx went, you know, about like how she felt when she was younger and being an outcast and all of that, and Roxy, I don't want to say was more pageant with it, but I think that was just her way of trying to just be real, like Gloria was telling her to be, whereas Alaska was the only one that really, you know, did everything that they asked her for.
It was just so flawless, her enunciation of her words.
Yes.
Just,
in that moment, I really felt like Alaska really has been the dark horse of the competition. No pun intended. Alright. No, okay, that's yes, she really been the dark horse of the competition, because it got to this moment and everything was so serious between the other two that she was just like, no, let me give you an iconic drag moment right now.
A moment.
And just fucking kill the game and do what the fuck they asked them to do.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Flawless.
She was the only one. She brought some light and some humor into it, and at that moment you wanted to tip it, like it was done.
And it's crazy, like you were saying, I don't know if we mentioned it before, but that each queen kind of had their own lane, and well, not necessarily their lane, but like had a moment that they shined. Like Roxy did the music video, Jinx shined in the courtroom, and Alaska shined on stage. So it's kind of like, what's gonna happen, bitches? Because it's kind of even playing field right now.
Although that being said, I want to say the final product with Alaska's character, where she had like the Roz voice or whatever, bitch, that's the only bit in the whole video that I fucking laugh out loud every time. Cause there's a moment where she gets so extra with it that I just can't. I can't with her. See, here's the thing with Alaska, right? When I think back on the show and I think about what Roxy has been able to do on that runway, I say bitch.
Yeah.
And when I think about what Jinx Monsoon has done throughout the show and the acting challenges and be able to be
different
characters and
they're all and they're all convincing and she's fully thought out.
I say bitch.
Yeah.
But see, Alaska, I feel like runway, she's had her moments where I'm like, you fucking ate that motherfucker. She's had her moments in the acting challenges where I've been like, bitch, stop, cause you is killing this too hard. I cannot take. So really, I feel like she's got everything that they're looking for right now. And right now, she don't need to grow, she don't need to learn how to, you know, be funnier. She's just got that. So if this is a case of deciding between Jinx or Roxy, I really think it should be a matter of focusing on Alaska, because she can give you what you need.
Yeah. She, I think, is just an amalgamation of both of the things that make them good. Plus her own Alaska.
Exactly, and everyone so far is so Team Jinx, Team Roxy. Like, there's such a whole thing of the Roxy fans versus the Jinx fans that it's really keep your eye on Alaska, motherfuckers, because she's doing that. Don't let your love for one or the other override seeing what Alaska Thunderfuck has presented to you throughout this competition. I'm just saying.
So, just like season 4, Ru felt like it was fair for all three bitches to lip sync for their lives, darling. So the three of them had a lip sync to the beginning, and it's hard to say who really won it.
I don't think we're in a position to say who really won it either.
And yeah, I think
art is subjective.
Yeah, I think everyone did a really good job.
Yes.
I was living for Alaska. It was just those hands with those nails.
It's all about the acrylics.
Yeah. And Roxy was giving you classic pageant. You know, she had the piece of material.
Yeah.
A piece. You know, Jinx Monsoon was twirling for her life.
She was giving you a swirl.
Yes. So it was in Mother Ru's hands, Hanny.
Yes, and we all knew what Mother Ru was going to say anyway.
Well, I mean, so shocking. Also, you know, like a couple of weeks ago on Twitter, she was like, "Damn right, we filmed 3 different endings. I don't want no shady queen fooling nobody." So it wasn't no surprise. So moving on to the last Untucked episode that they showed in the recap, it was, you know, a lot of the same. It was a lot of the same. No, it was. Yeah, kind of the stuff we'd already spoken about, you know, the girls, basically Roxy and Jinx.
The girls!
You know the girls. Roxy and Jinx were, ooh, what was that? Oh, she.
Nothing. Continue.
Okay, hello, hi, nice to see you guys. Okay, so Roxy and Jinx was speaking on the fact that they didn't really call anyone out and how it didn't feel right or whatever, but Alaska was just like, bitch, that's what they told me. And I don't know who said it in a previous season, but whatever. You want me to do this, bitch? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it for you, and if you don't like it, I'm gonna change it.
Raven, cut and print out, say the camera.
Thank you. Because you're trying to win some coins, Miss Honey.
Yes, and a very sparkly crown.
Yes. So yeah, there was like a little bit of tension, but then Roxy kind of realized that she was acting the fool, and you know, clocked herself, and she was saying that she's so used to doing pageants and doing what she does, and that an America's Next Drag Superstar has to be more than what a pageant superstar has to be. So
yeah, I feel like it was really nice for Roxy to kind of like round it off that way, and I felt like in that moment she was being like a real ass down ass bitch, and she kind of realized like I've been feeling this way for so long, and I think what it is they obviously knew that it was gonna be down to the reunion where they were gonna win. It was because I mean, the minute they said their names to vote or whatever, Roxy was like, boom, like, they knew it was coming, right?
Yeah.
So I feel in that moment, Roxy was like, it's over. Like, this is like the last one where everything's been done, and it was like probably such a weight lifted off her chest that she just was like, could see through the fucking fog, you know?
Yeah. It was nice that they kind of wrapped it all up, basically, and there was no harm done, and I'm sure they've got to speak about it more and more and more.
I'm really ready for the reunion so that they can let everybody know on the platform of Drag Race for people that don't go to the clubs, that don't look at anything other than Drag Race. For those people, at least the reunion will be a moment to like set the record straight.
Yeah, if y'all have seen already, some of the girls' looks are online because the reunion happened yesterday, I think, which was whenever it was.
What?
Because I'm thinking
who
future
counts?
time. Whatever. So yes, I gotta give a shout out to Miss Detox's look. If y'all haven't seen it, y'all need to check it out because bitch.
She came like that. Like you really gave it to them that way.
Alright, Miss Detox. Because I just had to give her
that. Over, like, but you know, we'll be saving up because I don't know. Are the red carpet looks the same?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. So anyway, we'll see. So we'll see y'all soon. Hopefully next week should be quicker and everything.
We ain't seen nobody no time. Y'all ain't coming to my crib.
Bye. 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 Bye.